Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to day 48 of the God Hears Your Devotional. This morning's passage is in 2 Kings chapter 12, verses 1 through 15. So if y'all are ready, let's get started. So, I did not end up filming this on camera, but when I opened my Bible to share the word with you guys, it opened automatically to the passage. I did not even plan that. So that tells me that God needs me to share this with you guys. So and the word says, in the 7th year of Jehu, Joash became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 40 years. His mother's name was Zibiah. She was from Beersheba. Joash did what was right in the eyes of the Lord all the years Jehoiada the priest instructed him. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer their sacrifices and burn incense there. Joash said to the priests, "Collect all the money that is brought as sacred offerings to the temple of the Lord, the money collected in the census, the money received from personal vows, and the money brought voluntarily to the temple. Let every priest receive the money from one of the treasurers and use it to repair whatever damage is found in the temple." But by the 23rd year of King Joash, the priests still had not repaired the temple. Therefore, King Joash summoned Jehoiada the priest and the other priests and asked them, "Why aren't you repairing the damage done to the temple? Take no more money from your treasurers, but hand it over for the repairing of the temple." The priests agreed that they would not collect any more money from the temple and that they would not repair the temple themselves. Jehoiada, the priest, took a chest and bored a hole in its lid. He placed it beside the altar on the right side as one enters the temple of the Lord. The priest who guarded the entrance put into the chest all the money that was brought to the temple of the Lord. Whenever they saw that there was a large amount of money in the chest, the royal secretary and the high priest came, counted the money that had been brought into the temple of the Lord and poured it into bags. When the amount had been determined, they gave the money to the men appointed to supervise the work of the temple. With it, they paid those who worked on the temple of the Lord, the carpenters and the builders, the masons and the stonecutters. They purchased timber and blocks of dressed stone for the repair of the temple of the Lord, and met all the other expenses, of restoring the temple. The money brought into the temple was not spent for making silver basins, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, trumpets, or any other articles of gold or silver for the temple of the Lord. It was paid to the workers who used it to repair the temple. They did not require an accounting from those whom they gave the money to pay the workers because they acted with complete honesty. 1 second while I prepare the scripture summary, please. Our scripture summary this morning comes to us from 2 Kings chapter 12, verse 15. I wrote down, sometimes churches don't always provide a truth as to where your tithes go. Be careful. Now, I'm not talking about the small town little churches where our families and ourselves go. Most of the time, when I say be careful where your tithes go, sometimes I am talking about the mega churches. Now, I don't mean to throw certain mega churches under the bus at all. That's not what I'm doing. But, you know how in the bulletin when you go to church on Sunday mornings, every quarter or so, it shows you where your tithing goes in small churches? Like, for example, elevator repairs for those of us that are handicapped or elderly, or curriculum for the preschool students, or those are just some examples. That is an example of what you'll find in most small town churches. In mine as well, we also, because my day program is in my small town where I live, it also provides donations to the private school where I am a teaching assistant at. Now, keep in mind, the private program is not a school. It is a day out program for those with different challenges, and so on and so forth. So no, it's not a school. But the point is, be careful with where you put your tithes. You don't know where your tithes are coming from or going to or wherever. So if you decide to plant yourself in a church, you need to be careful where you're at. That's all I'm saying. And for those of y'all that have watched my life update video as soon as it pops out, thank you for understanding why my content changed. And for those of y'all that have decided to move along with your lives, I completely understand. If you want to come back, the door's always open. But if you want to leave, more power to you. That's all the time that we have for today's devotional. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.